Okay, this is strategies for life, but we got to change up the topic. This is about the post office and how it is like working in the post office. All right, so I'm out here in a country office, and to the point, the post office being restructured, and like, what is it like to actually be inside while everything is being restructured? First of all, I particularly am bred for this position. Bred meaning the prior jobs that I've been in. It fashioned me for the post office. I know a lot of people would say, well, you have to be military in order to be in the post office. That's not necessarily true. But you do have to be disciplined in some form or a fashion. For myself, I was a baker for a number of years, a long time. In Oneonta and then in other places, Boston, etc. And I always had to get up early in the morning. And then, too, I worked in a lot of cafes all my life, so I'm a people person. So those two things combined in my background made me susceptible, or I should say, it was able for me to easily integrate as a postal worker. And for the most part, to get up every morning and to be involved with people, I'm fashioned that way. Now, it's according to this particular problem of being in the elements. For all 4 seasons, you're going to be outside. Like, you're actually going to be outside facing the elements, whatever it is. For this, for those who are following me, they're realizing, well, where did I go for 8 days? Where did I go for 9 days? Imagine, just quickly, it's like about 76 degrees, and then it drops down to 31 very quickly the next following day. And then you have to go work out in that type of conditions. Oh, that made everybody close their doors. Everybody was like getting their bikes out and et cetera, et cetera. So, just to make it quick, that's where I was. I didn't take that all too good. But anyway, it's warm again, finally, in this region where I'm from. Now, back to the point. You have the situation of actually taking all of your work out into the elements. So basically, I'm trying to sell you to try to take your office outside. Like, who is going to be a postal worker after all this? That's what I'm doing this video. It's the morning time, and I'm having a cup of coffee, and I'm driving to work, trying to stay awake actually, down this dark country road. And I'm going to try to sell you the post office? Oh, yeah. Bring all these papers out into the elements. You have to have your window down, pretty much. You can't be rolling up your window and rolling down your window and rolling up your window and rolling down your window for 400 or for 200 houses. You're going to keep your window down. So however it is outside, that's how your vehicle is going to be, no matter how much heat that you're pumping. Well, gladly we got heat now in some of the trucks. Well, if your feet stays warm, then you're pretty much warm. If your feet and your legs are getting heat, then you're pretty much warm. A little bit. So I'm realizing on this car ride that I'm telling you how it is in the post office, and I'm not selling it to you. It doesn't sound right. Like, who's going to take that type of job? Well, retirement. But now all that is is affected by Medicare now. And that's going to have a different swing on retirement. And like I said, I'm 55 years old, and I have a small route, and so I'm really helping out the big routes on their off days. And I go into their cases pretty much paranoid because I'm trying to get all their details right and not for them to get nothing to yell about when they appear the next following day. So it feels like high school, but then it feels like God and government. And those two things mixed together, it all depends on who you're serving in the post office. It could be really nasty, or it could be really nice. It depends on what office you're in. So, if you want to go back to high school and go back to college and get that type of freshman, senior, sophomore, junior type mindset, and then take all your papers outside and be in the freezing elements, you can be very, very hot or very, very cold. So, like, who would do something like that? It'll have to take a military type person. To go through that. Like, your average citizen wouldn't calculate that as a good factor to go to work in. You have to take somebody extraordinary to actually be a postal person. Like, you have to have a special quality about you. And even that, you have a special quality, but then the perfection is like I said before, I go in my case kind of paranoid, and that slows me down a lot because I'm trying to remember every single detail, but I'm trying to be perfect. So you have that on you as well. You have to be perfect and serve God and country. So if someone is actually being mean, you being as a postal worker, like, you can't react because you might lose your job, and you got to keep your composure. So basically, anybody can do anything they want to you as an interaction in the morning as a postal person. Like, the dog is, like, all you hear is basically honking horns and dogs barking at you. You got all this pressure to do 400 houses. So, with no music, technically speaking. I don't know if the post office is going to survive, honestly, because right now I'm not selling it to you. I'm just telling you what I go through within a day, and it doesn't sound too nice. So why am I doing it? Well, because of my past. That's why I'm doing it. I've been disciplined in a way, but not in a military way, but kind of like it. But then I'm always up every single morning as a former baker, and I'm a people person. So, is my job at jeopardy? No, they're just cutting hours, really. Being very picky about hours. Where It used to be just go out there and do a good job. Just do a good job, and that's it. But now it's do a good job and be back by a certain time. Anyway, so I know this is kind of sad type of news, but this is just the perspective from the inside. And it's like, just to summarize it, I realize I cannot sell the post office to you. It doesn't seem like this is a job to which I'm going to be at a street corner and try to sell the post office to you. Who wants to be out in all of the elements like I just went through? I disappeared for 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, just trying to adjust to the weather because it was so drastic. So you have the weather as a big deterrent. Then you got to take your office, basically a very small desk, into the elements. You have the pressure to be office, but you're bringing your office outside. Who am I going to persuade to bring their office outside and put their desk in the elements and say, work an office job outside, basically, in a tank, in a militarized tank. That's what you're going to be put in, a militarized tank. Then I'm going to say, I want you back at a certain time, but you cannot make one mistake, or I'm going to yell at you when you get back. Who is going to take that as a civilian? You have to be extraordinary. You have to be a farm person or a military. Who in their right mind would do this? Am I in my right mind? No. How can I be? But I enjoy it. Strangely enough, I do. Why? It's the mission. I believe that that's the only thing I can sell to you. It's the mission to get this done. To wake up and know that you have a mission. It's not more of a job, it's a mission. But then you have ordinary people doing this, like a mother. There's mothers doing this. There's farm people who have a lot more responsibility on their hands. But the farm is not really bringing in the money so much. But they have that type of discipline to work outside anyway. So, and then you have the personalities that you have to deal with. You have nice people and you have bad people in the Postal Service. You got people that are just straight out negative. And you got some people that are cool as cucumbers. It's like in any other work situation. But you can't react to how they're being. Just in any other job, you really can't react either. So, but it's more, like I said, back in high school, if there's seniors, if they want to be mean, those seniors are going to be mean. If the juniors are going to be mean, then the juniors are going to be mean. Like, there's no way to fight it. Sorry for my camera being shaky, if it is. So, anyway, those are all the points. And I'm trying to explain to you what I'm going through in the postal worker. But I'm saying that, how am I selling this to anybody? And who is going to replace us? If it is privatized, who would want it? They would want to go towards FedEx, or they want to go towards Amazon. but I just don't know who's going to. You're going to take out 10,000 people. Basically, you're taking out 10,000 vets. Vets, I mean, as far as within the Postal Service, 10,000 people who are experienced. And then you're going to give it to freshmen and juniors and sophomores. As far as experience goes, it's going to be even slower. You're not going to have that speed of the veterans anymore in 10,000 routes, if you want to say it like that. Because one postal person carries one route. So that's 10,000 routes that are going to be slower. So that's 10,000 times 400 houses that are going to get their mail slower because you're going to have a freshman or a sophomore type individuals trying to take their place. Yeah, 10,000 times 400 houses. So I fear the holidays. Well, not really, because there's an Amazon that's being built by us out here. So that's going to take off the pressure during the holidays. I don't have to worry about that. A distribution center, if you want to know the details. I better slow up for this police person. Alright. Anyway, so I don't know what else to say but what I just said. And this is not so much a strategy for life, but it's the life of a postal worker. I mean, if you're subbing for somebody that's nice, then it's nice, okay? You're going to get a solid 8 hours of work. A frown down to be out here for 10 hours is not good. But I don't know what else to say. You can't react to people. You gotta just let them shoot at you. Which is a down frown anyway. I hate it, really. To not have the freedom to react. So I play a lot of video games just to deal with the reaction part. Well, if I can't respond to you, I'm gonna tear up these villains in this game. But I really love the post office. I really do. It's just I wish I can. I love my job. You know. It's just the mission, the adventure, the time, the race. You got to get this done. The thrill of you don't know what's going to happen today. How to adjust, to be flexible. You got personalities to deal with. Go into stealth mode, go in the office and not say nothing. And then you wait for this one particular person on the route. And then you just hand them their package or their check or their bills, and they're happy to see you because they know that you went through a lot to get there, and just that moment of exchange is so satisfying. So it is like the Pony Express where you went against Indian, I can't say that publicly now, but you went against obstacles. Yeah, let's say that. And I saved myself there. So you went against the odds and you were successful and you made it back in time and you survived your mission. And I think that's the 007 part of the post office that really makes it lovable in a way. Like you're an agent, and it just feels good to have a mission. So if you want a mission, then be a postal worker. But if you want a job, I wouldn't take it. No, it just doesn't make sense. But if you're a 007 type person, if you're a person that wants a challenge, if you're a person that wants odds and mental challenge and physical challenge, then I would be a postal worker. But if you don't want the mental challenge and the physical challenge, I wouldn't do it. It's a strange love affair, really. Being in a postal position is a strange love affair of opposition and mentality. So, I gotta get in the office. Well, not really. I got 15 minutes, but I better get in here. It's a Monday.